So apparently Ubisoft has made the decision to assassinate themselves over Assassin's Creed. Because I guess there was a gaming insider, Tom Henderson, that claimed that Ubisoft is doing the same thing that Marvel's been doing for the past God knows how long. They decided that they have a cash cow and they're going to milk it dry as fast as humanly possible. You know, Assassin's Creed hasn't been having the best reputation lately. They've been putting out buggy games, mostly just because Ubisoft is more focused on cranking things out rather than making anything good. But they decided to really put the nail in the coffin because apparently they've decided that they're going to be coming out with 2 Assassin's Creed games per year for the next 10 years. AKA coming out with 20 Assassin's Creed games in the future. Now, there's a huge issue with this. Obviously, they're doing the exact same thing that Marvel did. They're focusing more on quantity over quality, and they're gonna shoot themselves in the foot with it. If you wind up coming out with that many games that quickly, you have 0 time to fix bugs, 0 time to innovate and come up with new game mechanics, and 0 time to come up with good stories. So what's going to happen? Assassin's Creeds are going to come out, and the first one might be okay, even though they've been a huge buggy mess a lot lately. But then they're going to get worse and worse and worse. Just like everything Marvel did when they suddenly decided they had a cash cow, so they decided to come out with new movies and new shows just constantly. All of those started to deteriorate and they just became a god-awful mess. Not to mention, you're going to wind up diluting your own market and just overdoing everything to an incredible degree. Marvel did this to the point that I, as a huge Marvel fan, I read those comics growing up nonstop. I loved them so much. But even I can't even bother going to see Marvel movies anymore because I know that they're not going to be great. And there's so many of them. I can't keep up with them and they all depend on each other. Granted, the Assassin's Creed games might not be quite as interconnected as the Marvel Universe, but I don't feel the need to play every single Assassin's Creed game, especially if there's going to be 2 every year. Ubisoft cannot keep up with this, and there's no way that this is going to turn out good. Ubisoft is shooting themselves in the foot, and as soon as I saw the article from thegamer.com, I immediately thought, wow, they're worried more about shareholders than anybody else because this is going to drive the company into the ground. With how much money they spend on Assassin's Creed games, I can't imagine they're going to get any real return on their investment, especially if they're coming out with 2 every year, because they're going to wind up wasting so much money trying to crank out that many that quickly. I don't know how they're going to possibly pull this out, because I was reading through this article. And they were saying that they want 10 new Assassin's Creed games before 2030. And I can't imagine that those will be good quality. Look at all of the bugs that have been coming out in Ubisoft games already. Then amplify that because you suddenly have a timeline that is 10 times more unreasonable. They have enough trouble coming out with a game every year. They're going to try and double that? That's absolutely insane. We have... The direct quote is, they've got Assassin's Creed Shadows. They've also got Assassin's Creed Invictus next year, Assassin's Creed Hex, Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, and they plan to do a new Assassin's Creed game every 6 months for the next 10 years, I believe. I'm sorry, but how can you possibly think you're going to put out anything of good quality? This is an absolute mistake. And I can't believe that they're going this route. But at the same time, I can. I shouldn't be surprised. They're just trying to come out with something for shareholders, because the whole point is that in gaming, they decide they want live service games like the latest Diablo game. And they come out with a new season right before new quarters for financial reporting. So that way they get a whole bunch of new people signing up, and a whole bunch more people suddenly their numbers start to grow. They can report that, and then that helps their investors suddenly want to crank in more money. So if Ubisoft can't come out with another live service game, they just decide, well, we'll just come out with a new game every 6 months instead. Now we don't have to have seasons. We just have completely new games. And it's going to completely tank our company, but at least we'll look good on paper, because that's what matters. Gamers are going to give up on it. At some point, I hope that they wise up and realize, wow, we're buying the same thing over and over again, and it's just getting worse. Maybe I shouldn't buy this anymore. I hope that gamers start to realize the truth there, because otherwise companies are just going to keep doing it, and we're going to get worse and worse games, and everything about the quality is just going to go down until something finally changes. And either the companies are going to break or we're going to break. But I highly doubt it's going to be the companies that do it first, if they're still making their money, because that's what they care about. It's not about creativity. It's not about a good story. It's not about coming up with something innovative or a good game overall. It's really just, how much money can we make? And that's, you can't blame them. They're a company. That's what they do. But eventually, if you have that mindset for too long in a creative industry, it's going to wind up shooting you in the foot. The whole company is going to just destroy themselves. I can't imagine that this is going to go well long term. And I'm sad to see it, because I loved the old Assassin's Creed games. They were cool. They were innovative. They had awesome mechanics that, people got obsessed about. The free running, the assassinations, all the random historical references, they were amazing. But now they're more worried about getting headlines with some of their more recent decisions. And now it just, let's get out the numbers, not get out quality games, because that's all they care about. But whatever. It's just, I'm sad to see it. I love games, and I love when a quality game is made. But if this is all that's going to keep happening, I hope other people don't buy into it, because otherwise nothing else is going to change.